Hi, and welcome to today's functional fitness class. Today we're going to be working on compound moves. So we'll be completing two single moves, or what they call isolation exercises, which target single muscle groups, and then completing a set combining them or making it a compound exercise. Compound exercise elevate our heart rate a little bit more because we're using multiple muscle groups at once. We can help improve our strength, improve our intramuscular coordination, and improve our flexibility. When you think about it, we use compound moves when we're performing our everyday tasks. So it's good to get that strength and that flexibility in our workout today. So let's get started. Since we are going to be doing some multiple sets, you might want to grab a set of lighter weights. That might work better for you. You can always do them without weights, but listen to your body and do what feels right for you. You can always lower the reps, do alternating arms. There's a lot of variations and most of us know a lot of them. So do what feels right for your body today. But let's take a moment, take a nice deep breath, find our center, and we're going to start with a simple march. Continuing to breathe and checking with our bodies and maybe noticing some areas that might need a little extra attention today. So we're going to turn this into a step forward V. So we're going to take our right foot, we're going to step forward, wide, wide, and then back, narrow, narrow, wide, wide, narrow, narrow. So just working our hips a little bit differently. Have to engage our core a little bit more because we're moving forward and back. Make sure you have a clear space around you so you don't bump in or trip over anything. Let's do one more. Good. And then we're going to move to a one-sided jack. So one arm, one leg, and then the other arm. And again, your range of motion. So if your shoulder is telling you to do this today, then feel free to do that. All movement is good. We're just warming up our muscles. We're warming up our joints. And it's a good time to check in. And we can find which areas we might have to pay a little extra attention to today. Let's do one more each side. Good. And then we're going to go back to our march. This time we're going to do a step back. So let's start with our left foot this time. A little different for our brains. We're going to step back, wide, wide, forward, forward, wide, wide, narrow, narrow. So again, it doesn't have to be a big step back. If you need a little extra stability, use your chair. You can step back and forward, keeping one hand on a chair for stability, or you can continue with a march. Let's do two more. Step back, 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 forward, forward, one more. Good. And then from here, let's stand straight and tall. We're going to do a squat. So feet are hip distance apart. Little squats, our first squat. So we don't go forward. Knees stay behind the toes. Spine stays long and up. So we're going to squat and up. And then we're going to turn this into a step out squat if you'd like. Continue with the squat. Hands on the chair if you need to. If we're going to step out, right foot steps out into a squat and we step back in. Left foot out into a squat. Remember, slide the hips back. Keep that heart reaching up. So we're not looking down at the floor. We're looking straight ahead. Let's do one more. So working our hips again. Good. And then we're going to stay wide. We're going to squat and then we're going to reach across. Squat and reach. Again, it doesn't have to be a big squat. You're just warming up those knee joints, those hip joints. Now we're working into the shoulders and the upper back, reaching across. One more each side. Good. One more squat, and then we're going to step our feet together. Arms reach out straight to the side. Let's do some arm circles forward. Again, working the shoulders, warming up that shoulder joint, circle back. Good. And then we're going to bring our arms forward, and then we're going to reach out and lift. So forward and open, forward and open. do one more. Good, then arms by our side, maybe feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart. We're just gonna do a gentle body twist. So you can keep your heels down, you can alternate one heel left, that adds a little bit more to the twist. Just let your arms kind of swing naturally. A gentle spinal twist. You might want to keep your gaze straight ahead as your body twists if you tend to get a little dizzy. Just a few more twists, and then we'll be ready to get started. Good, and then shake everything out. Let's grab a quick drink before we get started. And then we are going to need our weights. So again, if you have 1, 2, 3 pounds, some of these you might be able to do with 5. But some of the longer lever moves we're going to do, I would stick with 2s or 3s. So we're going to start with a bent over row. So you can do this seated, or we can stagger our stance, little bend in both knees, little hinge in our hips, arms are straight down, roll the shoulders back and down, spine stays nice and long, back of our neck stays in a neutral position as we pull and reach down. Pull. Feel the shoulder blades. This is for that upper and mid back area. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's do 2 more of these. 11, 12. Good. Stand up nice and tall, your choice. Let's put our weights down for a moment. The next one is a hip hinge. So we're going to hinge from the hips. We can do this with no weights, 1 weight, or a weight in each hand. We're just going to keep that spine long, pull the belly in slightly. We're going to hinge, slide down, slide those hips back, spine stays long, and then squeeze the glutes, press through the heels, and we're going to come up. So we're going to do 12 of those with or without weights. Either way, we keep our arms close to our thighs, tall spine to start. Take a nice inhale here, exhale, we go down, squeeze and come up. That was 1. You don't have to go much farther than your knees, or you can stay above your knees. Thing is, if you're holding weights, make sure you don't round your shoulders. Keep that spine long. 3, 4, 5. Squeeze the glutes. 6. So we're working the back of the body here, upper and lower body, or excuse me, lower body this time. And I probably lost count, but we're going to do 2 more. Good. If you're holding weights, let's put the weights down for a moment. So here's our first compound move. We're going to do a hip hinge. While we're in that hip hinge, we're going to do a bent over row, and then we're going to come up. So we're going to do 10 of those. So let's grab our weights. Remember, you can also do this without weights. Are we ready? Here we go. So we're going to do our hip hinge. We're going to row, release, and squeeze those glutes, come up. That was 1, 2, and up. 3, and up. 4, keep that spine long, use the core. 5. So now we're working at the upper and lower back body. 6, 7, 8, 9, last one of these, 10, and up. Good. Let's roll our shoulders down. Feel free to grab a quick drink. Okay, next 2 single moves. We're gonna do 12 and 12. We're gonna start with an upright row. So weights come in front, tall spine, relax the shoulders, engage the core, and we're gonna lift and lower. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2 more, 11, and 12. Good. Roll the shoulders. Next is going to be an overhead press. So remember, weights are going to go overhead. We can do alternating because we are going to do another set when we do our compound moves. If over the head doesn't work for the shoulders, we have our arms at a right angle and we lift our elbows to the side. So we're either going to do an elbow lift or a press overhead. So here we go. We can do alternating if we'd like. And here we go. We're going to press up. 10 to 12, do as many as you feel comfortable too, because remember, we're doing another set. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go to alternating if you need to. 9, 10, 2 more. 11, 12. Good. Put your weights down, take a little break. So this compound move is a little tricky because we have to add a little bit of a wrist rotation here. So we're going to watch how I do this and then we're going to do it together. So we're going to come up to our row and then we're going to flip and then press up, come back down, flip and down. So we can do one arm at a time, or if we're not going overhead, we bring the elbows down, we bring them up. So that might be a little bit different count. So we're going to do 10 of these. So you decide which variation you want to do and count on your own. Take a nice deep breath, good posture. And here we go. We're going to do our upright row, flip, press up, down, flip, and down. That was 1. 2. 3, you can do one arm. 4, 5, or do your elbows. 6, we're more than halfway done. 7, flip, extend, flip. Make sure you get that flip in there. You got 2 more. Stop early if you need to. Do alternating for those last 2. Last 1. And down. Nice job, everybody. Let's roll our shoulders. Take a little water break. Put the weights down. Maybe you rotate the wrists a little bit, especially since if you did those wrist rotations. Next move, squats. We're going to do 12 squats. So stay behind the chair if you need it. Feet are about hip distance apart. Remember, hips slide back, knees stay behind the toes. Spine stays nice and long. Here we go. We're going to squat and press up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Check where your knees are. 8, spine is long. 9, 10, doesn't have to be a deep squat. 1, 2. Good. Roll those shoulders. Let's pick up our weights. Second move is a lateral raise. We're going to do 12, but we're going to do alternating. Feel free to do this without weights as well. Right arm's going to start. So we're going to go out to the side for 1, 2. Keep a little bend in the elbow. Don't go higher than your shoulders. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good. Roll the shoulders. Put your weight down a moment. Weights down a moment if you need to. So our next compound move, we're going to do a squat and a lateral raise. So squat first, so it's consecutive. So with our squat, we're holding those weights. So make sure you don't round those shoulders. Keep that heart lifted, press up, and then we go right into our lateral raise. We're going to do 10 of these. Are we ready? Take a nice breath. Good solid stance. And here we go. We're going to squat and lift. 2 and lift. 3 and lift. 4 and lift. 5 and lift. 6 and lift. 7. Make sure those hips are sliding back. 8. Remember, you can do 9 and 10, or without weights. And we're done. Roll those shoulders, put the weights down. Let's grab a quick drink before we move on to our next set of exercises. Feel free to roll the shoulders, rotate the wrists, shake out the legs a little bit. We're going to need both weights. We're going to do a set of bicep curls. 12, so tall spine, palms are forward, upper arms stay close to the body as we curl up and down. Nice and controlled. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Keep that core engaged. 8, 9. Your lower back should not be arched. 10. 2 more. 1, 2. Good. Roll the shoulders, put the weights down. We're going to do a stationary lunge. So let's grab our chairs. Start with our left hand, left side of the body, closer to the chair. Right foot's going to step back. We're going to do 12 stationary lunges. Remember, spine stays long, that heel stays lifted. We don't roll forward. We go straight down, straight up. So give yourself enough room between your legs. And we go down and up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 more. Stop early if you need to. And 2. Good. Shake that out. Remember, it doesn't have to be a deep lunge. You go to a depth that is comfortable for you. Turning it around. Right foot forward, left foot back, left heel up, tall spine. We go down and up. 2 and up. 3. Shoulder stays right over hips. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 more. Remember, you can always stop early. Good. Shake out those legs, roll the shoulders, compound move. Stationary lunge with a bicep curl. So your choice here, got our right foot back, is to just curl with the right arm. So as we bend both knees, we bend the right elbow, left hand stays on the chair for stability. And then when you switch, you'll get your left arm will get the bicep curl. Or we can do both arms as we do our lunge. Again, you decide what is best for you. We're doing the same exercise. So we're going to step our right foot back, weight in our right hand or both hands. As we bend our knees, we bend our elbows or elbow. So we go down and up. 10 of these. 2, 3. Steady gaze. This is balance component as well. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's do one more because I think I missed a number earlier on. Good. Step in, roll the shoulders. Switch the weight to the left hand if you're doing one hand at a time. Remember, it depends how stable you feel today. Use that chair. Left foot steps back. Weight in the left hand or both hands. And here we go. As we bend the legs, we bend the elbow or elbows. 1, 2, 3. Keep a steady gaze. 4, 5, 6, 7. Think of how many muscle groups we're working right now. 8. I think our whole body. 9, 10. And we're done with that one. Put those weights down. Walk around, take a little break, grab some water. How did everybody do with that? I definitely had to keep my gaze steady for that one. Otherwise, I probably would have gotten a little wobbly. So we used a lot of core in that one as well. Always good to strengthen our core. So we're going to go back to squats. One more set of squats here. Well, actually, more than one because we have to add it to our compound move, but just our squats. So we're going to take a nice breath. We can stay behind the chair. We're going to squat for 1. Squats are very good for us, though. 2, squeeze the glutes coming up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's do 2 more. 1 and 2. Good. Roll those shoulders, shake out those legs. We might need the chair for this one. We're not going to need our weights. We're going to do a side leg lift. So let's start with the right leg first, staying behind the chair, tall spine. Weight shifts to our left leg with a micro bend, and we go out for 1. Keep the toes pointed forward. 2, 3, 4. You can also tap out. 5, if that feels better for your hip. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 more. 1, 2. Good. Shake out those legs. Let's go to the other side. So weight shifts to that right leg, little micro bend. Tall spine, engaged core. Left leg out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 more. 1 and 2. Good. Shake that out a little bit. The compound move. So I'm going to show you the first we're going to do behind the chair. I'm going to come sideways so you can kind of see what I'm doing, holding on to the chair. So we're going to do a squat And then as we come up, a leg lift, squat, and then other leg. So alternating side leg lifts, squat in between. So you can do it holding onto the chair. The other way we can do it is we can squat and then come out. If you feel your balance is off a little bit, please stay behind the chair. We want our range of motion in the leg lifts and the squat. So feel free to use the chair. So all right, we're going to do 20. So that's 10 leg lifts per side. A little more squats than we're used to, but you don't have to go deep for the squat. So are we ready? I'm going to stay here so you can see me, but please feel free to stay behind the chair. Take a nice breath, good posture, engage the core. Right leg's going to go first. So we're going to squat and go out for 1. Arms can do whatever you want. 2, left leg, that. 3, back to the right. 4. So again, we're adding that balance component. 5, you can also tap out. 6, 7, 8, 9. Try to keep your upper body as upright as possible. That was 10. So we have 10, 9, 8, 7, toes forward, 6, 5, 4, 3, one more each side, 2, and 1, and done. Roll those shoulders, shake out those legs. Nice job, everybody. This is going to be our last series with our compound moves. So the first, we're going to need our weights again. So grab those weights. The first one we're going to do is a tricep lift. So we're going to have our arms straight by our side. We're going to do our little staggered stance or kickstand, they call it also. Little hinge forward. So both knees are bent, arms are strong, spine is long. We're just going to lift and lower both arms straight up. So we're lifting, working the triceps. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Control that weight coming back down. 9, 10, 11, 12. Good. Weights down, roll those shoulders, lower body. We're going to do what they call a runner. Well, what can be called a runner. So hold on. We've got our left side closer to the chair. We're going to add a little bend in both knees, a little hip hinge, and we're going to just tap. We're going to put the weight on the left leg. So most of the weight stays on the left leg. You should feel that quad start to work. We're going to tap the right foot back and then tap it back in. So this arm can move or both arms can move. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You decide how far you want to tip back or tap back. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good. Remember, one hand can stay on the chair that whole time as we spin it around. Same thing. So right side is closer to the chair, little bend in both knees, little hinge, weight, shift the weight to the right leg, tap that left foot back. So we're going to tap back and forward. 2. So all the weight stays here. You stay immobile. This leg is moving, this one's not. 4, 5, 6. One hand on the chair if you need it. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good. Come on up. Roll those shoulders. Now the compound move is that runner with the tricep lift. So two choices here, well, three choices. You can do both arms without weights. You can do just the one arm holding onto the chair with the other, or we can do both arms as we tap back with one leg. So a couple of variations, one or both weights, palms face up. We're going to bend both knees, shift the weight to the left leg, core engagement here. We're challenging balance here again. And as we tap back, we lift our arms or arm. 1, 10 of these, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You should be feeling that in that left leg a little bit more. 9, 10 with those added weights. Come on up. One side is done. We got to do it one more time. So are we ready? One or both weights. Palms are up. Little bend in both knees. Little hinge forward. Engage the core. Shift the weight to the right leg. And here we go. Tap back and lift for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come on up, roll those shoulders. Take a nice breath. We can put one weight down. We're going to need one in a few moments, but let's grab some more. No more compound moves. I know you're disappointed. We still have a couple exercises to still do. A couple of body parts we need to focus on. So next one, let's come behind our chairs. We're going to do heel lifts. We're going to do 15 heel lifts and lowers, and then we're going to lift our heels and we're going to balance on our tippy toes. So are we ready? Here we go. We're going to lift and lower, nice and easy. 2, as high as you can go. 3, control the down, no stomping those heels. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lower the heels, lift, and now we're going to balance for the count of 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And lower. Nice job. Shake out those legs. Roll those shoulders. Take a breath or two. Let's grab our weight. We're going to do our weight press. So you can, if you've had enough, feel free to do the last. We're going to do three exercises. They all can be done seated. So if you had enough and you need to take a break and sit, because I know we were standing the whole time, feel free to do these weight presses seated. We're going to hold on to the weight. We're going to keep it close to our chest. Relax the top of the shoulders, but elbows are kind of out. We don't want it way up here. You see now my shoulders are all hunched. We want our shoulders down. We're targeting the chest and the back here. So here we go. We're going to press for 1, 2, 3, 4. Release. 2. Release. You supply the work. 3. You decide how hard you want to press. This is isometric. 5. Release. 6. Release. 7. Release. 8. And relax. Weight down. So seated or standing, we're going to do bicycle. So elbows out. We're going to do knee to elbow. We're going to do 30. So that's 15 each leg. Seated or standing. Remember, elbow and knee or thigh do not have to touch. Stay seated if you need that for a little extra balance. We're doing the same work, just a little bit more. There's a little more stability if you're seated in the chair, but probably a little better range of motion. So you might even work the core a little bit better, those abs a little bit better in a seated position. So are we ready? We're going to do right elbow, left knee. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Last 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Roll those shoulders, shake everything out. Take a breath. We got one more. Let's grab our weight. We have to do our weight pulls. So weight is in the same position. This time we're going to grab the ends of the dumbbells and we're going to pull it apart. So again, we don't want to be all hunched up in our shoulders. We're still working the chest and the back, and of course the arms. Here we go. And a little bit for the fingers and the wrists. So here we go. Pull. 2, 3, 4, release. 2, release. 3, release. 4, release. 5, 2, 3, 4, release. 6, release. 7, release. 8, relax. Good. We can put both weights down. We can grab some water, and we're ready for our cool down. So if you prefer to stay standing for your cool down, feel free. I'm going to sit. So seated or standing, let's find our good posture. Tall spine, soften the shoulders down away from the ears. Just take 2 or 3 breaths to kind of center ourselves, check in with our bodies. I don't know about you, but my heart rate got up a little bit more during those exercises today. So that's a good thing. That's good for us. Well, let's bring that right arm up and over. Remember, listen to your body. If your arm's down here or out here, that's still a nice stretch through the torso, which is where we're aiming. We can add up to the arm if that works for us, but we're all breathing. Opening up through the right side from hip to shoulder and maybe up to fingertips. Good, and bring that arm down. Now let's do the same to the other side. Relax. Remember, shoulders feel different. Hips are different. Good, and let's bring that arm down. We're going to bring that right arm out. We're going to cross it over, hug it in. We work those shoulders and upper back a lot. So hug that arm in, open up that upper back, that shoulder area. Good, and bring that arm down. Same thing with the left arm, straight out and across. Hug it in. So remember, we're not pulling right at the elbow joint. It's either above or it can be below. And we're not turning our torso. We're keeping our torso straight ahead. So you should feel that opening in the upper back and shoulder area. Good, and bring both arms down. Let's extend both arms straight out, reach out through the fingertips, and then we're going to flip the palms up and press out through the palms. Just open up those forearms. And then back to neutral, and then flip the palms down and press out through the top of the hands. Good, and then straight out, spread your fingers nice and wide, circle forward a few times, circle back a few times. Good, and then we're going to bring our arms behind. So they can stay on either side of the chair. Maybe they can go behind in the hole in the chair, or maybe we can sit sideways and reach our arms back for a nice chest stretch. So now we want to open the front of the shoulders across the chest. We worked all those muscles. We can have our palms facing each other, or we can interlace our fingers. Your choice here. Take 2 or 3 breaths. You might even want to lift your gaze a little bit. We don't want to tip our head too far back. We don't want to pinch the back of our neck, but just open up through the throat a little bit. It'll open up along the collarbones a little bit more. One more inhale, exhale, bring Those arms back to our side, do some wrist circles in one direction, wrist circles in the other direction. Good, keeping that nice tall spine. We're gonna take an inhale, and then we're gonna twist to the right. Keep the shoulders relaxed, keep the spine long. We can turn our head to look over our left shoulder, over our right shoulder, or keep it straight ahead, whatever feels best for your neck. But we're breathing. One more inhale, exhale slowly, unwind. Take an inhale, twisting to the left. One more inhale, exhale, we're going to slowly unwind. Scoot to the front of the chair, walk your feet wide. We're going to slide our forearms to our inner thighs. We're going to press our legs into our arms into our legs. This is for shoulders and hips. Good, and then one hand on each thigh. Take this right shoulder, roll it down towards the left knee, just opening up that low back a little bit. And then let's come back up and we'll go to the other side. So take a breath or two on each side, but we're still kind of moving from side to side here. A lot of times when we're working out our back muscles, even though we try so hard to keep our core engaged, those back muscles get a little tight and tense. So we just want to open them up a little bit. Let go of any tension in the low back. Good, and then sit up tall. Let's turn sideways. Let that right knee drop down, hip slides off the chair. That leg can slide back, or we can grab our ankle. Opening up the front of the hip now. And the quad. Those quads worked hard today. A lot of squats, lunges, runners. Think of all the work those quads did. Good. And then we're going to just spin it around. Same thing for the other side. Make sure the hip is off the chair so the knee and hip stay in alignment. Again, we can slide that leg back or pick it up and grab the ankle, grab your pant leg, your sock. But our spine stays nice and tall. And we're breathing. Good, let's bring that leg down, spin back to the front. We're going to extend the right leg straight out. Heel down, toe up, little hinge forward, working down through the hamstring, the calf here. Spine stays long. So we're reaching through the crown of our head, reaching through the heel. Making two long lines of energy. Good, come on out. We're going to point our toe down. Just stretch out the top of that foot a little bit. Good, slide that leg back in. We're going to bring, gently hold behind the knee, do some knee hugs. And some hip circles. Circling in one direction 2 or 3 times. And the other. You decide how big of a circle you want to make with your hip. Good. And then we're going to gently guide that ankle to its resting spot. Remember, it can be at the ankle, the shin, the thigh. Tall spine, little hinge forward, opens up that hip a little bit more. So see if it feels right for you. A couple deep relaxing breaths here. So if your body's tensing, then it might be a little too intense for you today. So maybe drop it down one level. Good. And then we're going to release that leg. Take a breath and then slide the other leg out, hinging forward. Keep that spine long. Good. Coming out of the hinge, point the toe down, stretching out the shin, the top of the foot, the front of the ankle. Good. Slide it back in. Gently picking up that leg. Some little gentle knee hugs. And then some hip circles on this side. Both directions. Good. And then let's find our hip hinge on this, or our figure 4 stretch on this side. Ankle, shin, thigh. Remember, hips are different. As you can tell, this is my tight hip. It's a lot tighter. So we do what we can, no judgment, it's all good. Any movement is good for us. All movement is good for us. If we listen to our body. Good, coming out of that hinge. Gently release that leg down. Let's extend both legs out, just some ankle circles. Last joint, both directions. Good, gently bring those legs in. Let's inhale one last time. Let's take a nice big body stretch, any way that feels good. A nice exhalation. Thank you all for joining me for our class. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment if you did like it. Remember to drink lots of water, and we'll see you next time. Have a good day. Bye-bye.